Welcome everyone. This is Laurel Beard and welcome to the 25 Days of Christmas video series. I'm like crazy. I'm doing 25 videos this month from November 1st through the 25th. So I hope you'll hang with me. And by the 25th, you'll have all kinds of ideas for your Christmas or holiday cards. So today we're going to do a little free-handed painting. Don't be scared because I have no drawing skills whatsoever, which is why I grabbed a circle die to trace because I can't even successfully draw a circle. Seriously. So grab anything you have that's round, draw yourself a couple circles, and then I'm go with a pencil and I'm going in and erasing it to where only I can see the circle marks, because if you add paint or any kind of color over the pencil, you can't get the pencil back up. So make sure you erase. I am working on Bristol paper today because I'm using the Zig Clean Color Real brush markers, and they work best with Bristol paper. You'll get some beautiful, beautiful blending. So if you've ever tried these markers and you're not getting good blending, I bet you a bottom dollar it's the paper you're using. So try Bristol. So I've got a paintbrush here and I've got a tub of water off to the side off camera that I'm constantly dipping in. And I'm going in and just pulling that color from the outlines. I'm trying to pull it into the center. And I'm going to continue to do that until I'm happy with what I get. Now I end up playing around a lot and I kept my markers out because I'm going to go and end up and add some more color in. I'm going to scribble it onto my work surface. I'm working off of a glass mat, and I'll link to that if it's something that interests you. I love working off of glass. It makes for easy cleanup, easy painting, easy blending. It's just easy. So you'll see me scribble the marker onto the glass mat and use it as a palette. You'll just see me do a whole bunch of things, and it's going to be remarkable how long it took me to do these 3 circles. Like seriously, you could have stopped right here. I mean, you totally could have, and you can, just like stop if you want to. But I didn't. I kept going and going. So here's what I'm going to do because you don't want to listen to me babble. I'm going to find some royalty-free Christmas music and play it. Now, I celebrate Christmas, which is why I'm making Christmas cards. If you celebrate other Hanukkah, I don't know what's all out there, but if you celebrate that, I mean, feel free to take any ideas you get from this series and apply them to whatever you celebrate. But again, since I celebrate Christmas, this is going to be a Christmas card series. So I'm going to go ahead and play some music because you're sick of hearing me talk, and I'll be back when we're done with the circles. Okay, so the circles are done. Didn't that take a long time to paint 3 circles that really, when you sit here and stare at it right now, they're ugly? It's okay to think that. I mean, if that's, what if I left it and that was it? My card recipient and you guys who are watching this video would be like, All right, so I've got a snowflake set. It's from the Ton Stamps. It's called Blizzard Hugs. And I wanted to use that snowflake image, but it was too big. So I'm inking it up with some white pigment ink, also from the Ton, and I'm just wiping off around the edges. And that way I'm getting it to fit inside my circle so I could use that snowflake, because by dog, I wanted to use it and it was going to happen. So I'm going in with some white embossing powder. This is Alabaster embossing powder from Brutus Monroe. Love it. Only embossing powders I use. Well, 90% of the time. And when I went ahead and heat embossed those snowflakes so it looks a little bit better. Now I've got this is a Bic platinum silver permanent marker that has a fine point to it. And I'm going in and adding what I think the top of ornaments look like. You know, where you hoop your little thing through to hang it on your tree. That's what I'm going for. It wasn't as sparkly as I wanted, so I'm going in with a clear Wink of Stella right here to add a little bit more sparkle. And now you see how these are starting to form ornaments, I hope. I'm going in with a Copic multiliner. I would advise going in with at least a 0.5. Right now I'm using a 0.3, and I'm going to end up and go back over that and trace it just because the strings were getting kind of lost and all that. So I end up going back over and tracing it with a 0.5. So you can eliminate that step altogether. So now I need to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. So I grab my MISTI. One, I want to make sure my sentiment stamp's good. And two, that paper is warped beyond belief because of all the water and the heat that we added to it. So I took this sentiment from the Holiday Lyrics stamp set, also from the 10 stamps. I love it. Stamped it in Onyx black pigment ink, sprinkled on some clear embossing powder, excuse me, it's Icicle from Brutus, Monroe, and heat set it. And here's where I'm going in with that 0.5 multiliner. Again, adding some more sparkle. I wanted those suckers to sparkle, like big time. Like foil would have been perfect here, but I didn't think about that until now. But anyway, I really wanted them to sparkle. So I'm heat setting through everything. That's why my paper is like warped beyond belief. This is some My Favorite Things black and white dots paper I got from the Foiled Fox, and I'm just going to cut that down to size, 4.25 by 5.5, by the way, top folding card. Cut that down to size. Most of that's going to get covered up. So I could have just done 2 strips, but I'm lazy, so I went ahead and did that. Now, since this is very warped paper, I'm using some super strong adhesive. This is Be Creative tape. I think it's just a little shy of 1 inch wide, and then I'm going to peel off the backing and then press that down because, again, I needed some really strong tape so it could kind of flatten out. I could press out any wrinkles that I have in my card. But this stuff is permanent, so you know you need to be committed when you're going to put your card base down or your panel down. Be committed because you're not going to be able to move it afterwards. So I'm praying I get that straight, and I'm going to press down good. That's why you want to make sure your panel is completely dry before you do this, because wouldn't that have been something if my hand just smeared and all that just smeared all over the place. That would have been something, but it didn't happen. So yeah, so I can't draw. I'm not an illustrator. I can't draw. I leave that to the professionals. That's why I buy all the stamps. But I thought this would be something fun to share in my series because it's definitely handmade. It looks handmade. It's something that you could do with your kids or your classroom if you're a teacher or something like that. You can use any kind of paints that you have. Watercolors, if you wanted to do it with markers, go for it. But that's why I wanted to include this in the series. I think this is fun, very different for me because I can't draw a straight line. So thanks so much for watching 25 videos in 25 days this month. I hope you're enjoying this series, and I will see you tomorrow.